Okay, as promised, I'm going to show you how to make masks. I have more information up on my blog, DIYDanielle.com, and I did another video, just a general video about masks and materials and everything. However, just to summarize, we're going to use 3 layers of cotton, and I'm using quilting cotton that I had left over. It's a great way to use it. If you have like a whole, like a yard or two, that's awesome, and I have a trick for you. So, first of all, for an adult size mask, we're using a 6x9 cut of fabric. So, they're like this, okay? This is for an adult. There is an adult small size or smaller size of this that some people that I saw recommended. I have the numbers listed. I have only been making the 6x9s. I think they're a pretty good size for most people, except for kids. Your kids hopefully won't need a mask, but I did put a size up on my blog post about that, and I don't remember off the top of my head what that is. Okay, so what we're doing is we're cutting a 6x9 piece, and we're cutting 3 of them. So we have an interior piece that we don't see, and 2 exterior pieces. Coincidentally, our quilting ruler is 6 inches wide. So if you use this, you want your fabric, if it's directional, to go this way, because this will be your mask right here. Make sense? So you can cut strips of yardage all at the same time. Sew them, take 3 strips, 3 long strips, it could be a yard long or whatever, or however long the fabric is, depending on the direction and what direction, whether it goes across like the 45 inches wide the fabric is, or whatever width it is, or whether it goes across the other way. Do it whichever way. You can get your fabric set up after cutting those big strips, sew them together, and then cut, or sew the, sorry, this is gonna be confusing. So I'm sewing the 2 long edges, so the 2 9-inch sections. So pretty much I can sew, let's pretend this is my long cut of fabric. I can sew here and here. So I take my 3 pieces of fabric, I place the middle piece down in either direction, it doesn't matter. And then I put the back face up, and then I put the front face down. And then I sew here and here, okay? Once those long strips are cut, then I cut the pieces here at 9 inches, here at 18 inches, and then so on, depending on how big my fabric is. Now that only works if you have nice long strips of fabric. I did it with a bunch and it works really well. But then I have a lot of scraps that I was trying to use that aren't that size. Okay, so that's just a quick tip on how to make it easier. Either way, this quilting ruler makes your life a lot easier. And I use, of course, a rotary cutter and a self-healing cutting mat. If you don't know what those are, I do have information on my blog about them. You definitely don't need them. You can use scissors. It's just faster. Okay, so let me show you how I'm doing this, how I'm sewing it. And a lot of people are using elastics around the ears. I'm avoiding that. I did one with elastic around the head and bias tape on the bottom for the neck. I like it, but the fastest way I've found to do it is just with double fold bias tape. You can make your own bias tape. And I have a blog post on DIYDanielle.com about bias tape, how to put it on, and what it's all about. So bias tape's a great option, and I had tons of it. So, and I had bought this huge roll off Amazon. This is 55 yards, and I've gone through a lot of it. So, all right. Here we are. I've got my 3 pieces of fabric, and I have my middle fabric, which is the kind of weird floral. I have got my inner or outer fabrics faced together. I am going to go and sew on here and here. And I don't have time to edit this. I have kids at home during the day. I'm having a really hard time, so this is going to be kind of choppy for a second, and you're just going to have to bear with me. It's going to be a longer video than normal. I apologize, but you'll never get a video if we wait on me editing right now. It's been a stressful week. So I'm using about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, so these are all sewn right sides together. Now you're going to flip this right sides out. And you need to make sure you grab the two that are faced together. Otherwise, you're going to get your middle one on the outside. So here we are. And here we go. Okay, now we go over to our iron. I have an easy press, ignore that. An iron is fine and probably works better. Okay. Okay. And as you can see, I'm just pressing it down so it's nice and flat. You see, it's nice and neat now. Now I'm going to create my pleats. And I'm just folding it over like this, pressing. And this is not going to be perfect. It's not going to stay in this spot very easily. And then I pulled it over and did another pleat. So you're just kind of folding it over a little. And I'm pressing again. Okay? Flip it. Press it again. Okay, that's it. That's it for pressing. Okay? I'm going to go back over to the sewing machine. Boom. Okay. So now you are going to run a straight stitch on the farthest corner you can get. So you want to get pretty close to the outsides. When you get to each pleat, you can back stitch over it. It wouldn't be a bad idea. But you're probably good either way, because we're going to do something else in a minute. So the reason I flipped the fabric like that is because I really, I like to sew down over the pleats instead of up. It just kind of keeps things a little simpler. Okay. The next thing I need my bias tape, and let me tell you how much you need. Okay, so the next thing you need is two 30-inch pieces of bias tape. And if you are making a bunch of these, I recommend just cutting them all in advance. Makes your life a little bit easier to just do them all at once. I should have cut them before I got here. Okay, so what I do is I cut my first one, and then I just use the first one to kind of go along. Okay, so we've got two 30-inches of bias tape. Now, there is a correct way and an incorrect way to put bias tape on. We're going to put it on the incorrect way because it's faster. So let's start by folding our bias tape in half. Oops. Okay, fold your bias tape in half and put your finger on the point where it is the halfway point. And look at your bias tape and find the shorter piece. That's going to be on the top. You are going to line up the top, that halfway point with the top of your mask, okay? Doesn't need to be exact. It's not that perfect. And we're just going to fold it right over the edge. Somebody is going to have a heart attack. I know this isn't correct. This is not the way you put bias tape on. I know how to put bias tape on correctly. However, this works. And it looks fine, and it makes sewing these a ridiculously amount faster. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I'm going to back stitch at the first part. All the way up. And I stop and back stitch at the bottom of the mask. Now, okay, so I've got that, and I can do the same thing with the other side. As you can see, because I did not sew up the whole piece of bias tape, it can open up. I don't care. I think this will stay closed well enough for the amount of time these will be used. My main goal has been to make these fast and easy and get them over to people that really, I'm not making them for medical professionals. I'm making them for family, friends, people, you know, that are really only going out occasionally. So they're not getting daily washing. So either way, I don't think there's going to be an issue. I haven't had any issues with mine opening. I'll leave a comment if for some reason that changes, but okay, make sure you've got all of your bias tape connected to your there we go. So make sure your bias tape is, of course, sewn down properly on both sides. And okay, so top pieces. And as you can see, the fit is good here, the fit is good here. I usually wear glasses. They go over this. So it protects my eyes and I wear glasses anyways. So, and then it goes under my chin. So that's all there is. And when I go to take it off, I pull the string. I can pull it off without touching the front of the mask, which is really important. I really like the elastic around the back of the head. I felt like that was, oh, this is so much easier, but I felt like it was harder to take my mask off without touching other parts of my mask. Maybe I was just being awkward, but here we are. I can put this in the laundry, steam it, whatever I'm gonna do with it. And if needed, I can iron the pleats back down later after it's been washed. So there's my quick and easy tutorial on how to do this, and I hope this was helpful. There's a photo and tips tutorial on DIYDanielle.com, and I also did a full tutorial on Mother Earth News. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.